All right, Canelo Alvarez, Daniel Jacobs. Now the video, I don't know, I might break it in like a part A, part B. I really want to get into the weight, so I'll probably put out another video following the video you're watching now, going over all the new rules like with the WBC and all that good stuff. But anyway, I think a lot of people, okay, now hear me out, I think a lot of people are kind of sleeping on Daniel Jacobs. So just look, follow along with me for a minute, okay? Think about it for a minute. I think Daniel Jacobs has a better chance of beating Canelo than Gennady Golovkin. Yes, indeed, I just said that. I believe that Jacobs has a better chance at beating Canelo than Golovkin in a trilogy. And I'm comparing a trilogy to the upcoming, Jacobs Canelo fight. I give him a better chance. So look, let me put it to you. So when's the last time Canelo fought anyone in their prime or even close to their prime? Mayweather, Liam Smith, 154 pound for the WBO title, nearly killed Canelo to make the weight. And on a side note, Canelo is looking a lot thinner these days. He's really slimmed down, since he stopped eating those PED tacos. Okay, I don't know what the hell is going on, but he has slimmed down. So whatever, side note, cliff note. But, so yeah, Canelo's up against someone in their prime and he doesn't have the weight advantage, okay? Amir Khan, 155. Miguel Cotto, 155. Kirkland, 155. Lara was probably close to his prime, okay? And a lot, I wouldn't say a large majority of the boxing public had Erislandy Lara winning, but a lot of people had it a draw. It was a close win for Canelo, okay? So, but anyway, I'm going through the resume, just looking at the weights, thinking about where Canelo's opponents were at in their career at that particular time, on fight night. And in comparison, I think Jacobs, he's in a better position than any of them, as of recent. Like I said, there might be one or two names we can throw out there, Mayweather, Lara, whatever. But, he's closer to his prime than a lot of these guys, okay? So Jacobs, the two biggest threats, his chin and the judges, right? The chin and the damn judges. I believe Jacobs, what was he, knocked down by, was it Jason Mora, I want to say, and maybe Pirog? Correct me if I'm wrong, could be wrong, fact check me. But his chin, it's a little suspect, okay? It's a little bit suspect. Knocked down by Gennady Golovkin, and but that jab, so it's a little bit suspect. So, we're going to see a knockdown? Maybe. I don't know. I really don't know. But think about this, okay? Jacobs already been in the ring with Gennady Golovkin, okay? And he had Triple G winning against Canelo, so I think that's another advantage for Daniel Jacobs, right? Because, he's been there. He's been there, done that. So, I don't know, guys. Man, I have a hard time saying it. Like, I don't know if I can even get it out of my mouth, but I'm kind of favoring Jacobs in the fight, okay? Now, I don't have him winning. It's not my official prediction, but it's getting a lot tighter than I had it originally, is what I'm trying to say, I think if they put together a good, intelligent fight plan, that they can actually implement on fight night, I don't know, it could be an upset, could be a bad night for Canelo. Now, Canelo, the WBA, the WBC, and of course, Daniel Jacobs, got the IBF from his old sparring partner, was it Darby and Checo, okay? So, kind of an easy belt grab for him, really. So basically, the winner of the fight walks away with three of the major 4 titles, okay? The only one remaining will be the WBO, just like when Gennady Golovkin was holding the major 3 titles. Billy Joe Saunders had the WBO, and it's almost like we're in that exact same situation again, because someone who, either Canelo or Jacob, somebody's going to walk away with 3 titles. Unless it's a draw, which, who knows? Could be. Wouldn't that be a shocker if it was a damn draw? But look, I'm a little bit worried about Daniel Jacobs and his weight. Okay, he has a lot of weight to lose in a short amount of time. What is he, like 16 pounds to lose in less than a month, okay? And look, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't think Canelo is weight draining Jacobs. I mean, a lot of people are talking about this. I think, you know, this is a good example for the IBF rules, okay? And now the WBC rules, because Jacobs is obviously the bigger fighter, and this is a middleweight fight, not a super middleweight fight, not a light heavyweight fight, you know. So I'm okay with the rules on the weigh-in in this particular matchup. Oh, in this one, not all Canelo's previous fights, but in this particular fight, I'm cool with it. Okay, so you know, I don't know. It just seems like a lot of you guys have a big problem with it. But now it was a different story against Gennady Golovkin, because Jacobs acted like he was gonna, you know, he was gonna participate in the same day weigh-in, you know, for the IBF, but basically pulled out at the last minute, you know, in an attempt to gain an advantage over Gennady Golovkin. So, you know, I think the fight turned out to be a lot closer than it would have been if Jacobs had weighed in and followed the 10-pound IBF rule, you know, that he skipped out on. So I think that gave him a huge advantage over Golovkin, or it at least amounted for something, right? So, you know, so this is kind of a different case, and I think a lot of people are kind of, you know, intertwining this fight and the Golovkin fight. So, but in all seriousness, okay, I haven't made a prediction on the fight, but in my mind, it's a lot closer now, okay, than I had it maybe like a month ago, you know. And what I mean by that is, the more I learned about the fight, the bigger advantage I'm giving Jacobs, okay? Although, you know, I kind of still favor Canelo. It's almost impossible not to, but, okay, but, you know, here's where we got to learn from history, right? You know, so it's almost like, you know, we think these guys are indestructible, but think about it. History repeats itself, you know, and fighters that seem untouchable eventually lose. So could it be Canelo's night? Maybe, maybe not. I doubt it, but you know, I don't know. I think the fight, here's what I think. I think the fight is going to make him look a little less unstoppable and maybe a little more vulnerable going into the Golovkin trilogy, right? I mean, because remember, after Golovkin fought Jacobs, you know, people said, okay, now he looks a little bit vulnerable. So I think the same thing might happen against Canelo, you know, or like the original Golovkin fight, Golovkin-Canelo fight, it made him look a little vulnerable. So I just feel like people, I don't know, I feel like Jacobs is going to give a good performance, you know, although I'm worried about the weight issue. You know, I feel like he's going to have, you know, success that, you know, it's going to put doubt into, you know, the Canelo supporters' minds going into the Gennady Golovkin trilogy. But anyway, so, you know, let me just kind of go over a few of these articles real quick with you. I don't want to make the video too long. Here, let me get into it real quick, and I'm just gonna like fly through them. Okay, right here, Canelo Alvarez, Daniel Jacobs, 30-day weigh-in. Canelo 168.2. Okay, Jacobs 175.4. I mean, damn, right? Damn, like I said, that's like, you know, it's about 16 pounds, you know, before the weigh-in. So now on May 4th, a massive middleweight championship unification bout in store. Fight WBC WBA champion Canelo Alvarez, blah 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 blah. IBF takes on IBF title holder Daniel Jacobs. Okay, that's not what I want to read you. Here we go, right here. This is what I was referring to when I'm talking about the new WBC rules. Okay, pre-weigh-ins of 30, 14, and 7 days prior to the WBC fight are required in order to prevent sudden dehydration that causes serious damage. Okay, so yeah, and they've already, like I said, they've already done the 30-day weigh-in. Now we're getting a 14-day weigh-in, a 7-day weigh-in, and then the actual weigh-in. So you got 4 weigh-ins, okay? And then with the IBF, you have the weigh-in on the day of the fight. So these guys are going to weigh in 5 times: 30-day 1, 14-day 2, 7-day 3, and then of course the final weigh-in 4, and then the same day IBF weigh-in 5 damn times. I mean, that's crazy. So right here, new WBC rules requires fighters be no more than 5% above the contracted weight at the 14-day weigh-in and just 3% at the 7-day weigh-in mark. Previously, the 5% stipulation was for the 7-day weigh-in, and the introduction of the 14-day weigh-in is new. Furthermore, the fight has special rules that neither fighter can weigh more than 170 pounds on same-day weigh-ins scheduled for 8 a.m. Okay, they're referring to the IBF weigh-in. So, I mean, they're just all over this weight issue. So, it's crazy. So, What does it say? Happy for anything? Oh, these are some comments. I'm not going to really read that. Now, I thought this was kind of interesting, okay? You look at the Jacobs, Darby and Checo fight. Okay, Jacobs, 47 punches thrown, right? Thrown per round. Landed 41.8% of his power punches. You know, blah, blah, blah. Just hit pause if you want to read it. But I'm curious to see after the Canelo fight, you know, if he has that same success against Canelo, right? And, you know, especially if we get some kind of robbery or something like that. You know, here's a good thing. You guys can come back to this video, you know, and look at this little bit of information here, because, you know, if his numbers are identical or close to it, then why didn't he get the decision, right? So, you know, just a little something I thought about. But Daniel won the IBF middleweight this Saturday night. Okay, pulling out a thrilling split decision over Darby and Checo. You know, this is going over the last fight. Like I said, I like to go back. I like to go back and look at their last fight. Okay, now let's talk about, before I end it real quick, let's talk about the Daniel Jacobs Golovkin where he skipped the IBF. Okay, just to refresh your memory. Okay, Daniel Jacobs skipping the IBF second-day weigh-in before his fight against Gennady Golovkin has grown to the degree Jacobs can't help but laugh. Okay, so he's trying to downplay it, right? It seems as if every time Jacobs hears or reads about the situation, he was heavier the night he walked into the ring and gave Golovkin what to that point was his toughest professional fight 17 months ago at Madison Square Garden. It gets higher and higher. Oh, damn, somebody's calling me. It gets higher and higher, a smiling Jacobs said following a recent press conference in Manhattan. I mean, I wasn't a heavyweight when I fought him. Now, he claims, okay, you know, Abel Sanchez right here, you know, saying that he weighed more than like 180 pounds against Gennady Golovkin. But according to Daniel Jacobs, he's saying no. I think he said I was like, 170 something, 2, 3, 4, you know, somewhere in there. I forget. Jacobs contended, yeah, right here. His weight, he weighed no more than 175 pounds against Gennady Golovkin. Well, Abel Sanchez is saying 180, he's saying 175, so it's really not that far off, okay? You know, and I don't know. I don't think Jacobs would have a problem, you know, lying about 5 pounds, okay? You know, he's admitting to 175, but denying 180. So, you know, I just thought that was a little bit ironic, you know. It's right here, and here's kind of an insult towards Golovkin. It's just like how everyone talked about how strong he was, you know, all of these different things, Jacob said, and then they made it seem like I had to cheat in order to have the success. It was just unfair to me and all my fans. If you truly, honestly want to know my weight that night, it was literally about 173 to 175 at the most. Okay, so he's saying it was 173 to 175 at most. I don't believe that. And that's normal for a middleweight. And everyone brags about Golovkin sparring heavyweights and light heavyweights and knocking out those guys. But when he got in there, I might have looked like a light heavyweight. What happened then? He's saying basically if Triple G is knocking out, you know, heavyweights in the gym, why couldn't he knock me out? You know, that's what he's trying to say. So kind of a good question, really. Kind of a good question. So now, right here, Daniel Jacobs, Canelo Alvarez will have a strict 170-pound rehydration clause for their fight. And as far as the penalty goes, I want to say it's something like $300,000 per pound. You know, if either fighter is over, I mean, it's some crazy, crazy amount. Let me see. Yeah, right here. Okay, the weight penalty will be $300,000 per pound over the limit, according to Ring TV. If either fighter comes in overweight, it could be costly, with Canelo recently getting, you know, $3 million deal, blah, 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 blah. You get the point, okay? You get the point. You come in 3 pounds overweight, that's like $1 million damn dollars, damn near $1 million. I mean, damn, they ain't playing around with this weight issue. So, but anyway, as you see it right here, Jacobs 175.4, got a lot of weight to lose, got a lot of weight to you. And Canelo, what is he, 168.2, I believe? Yeah, what is that? I got it right here. Yeah, 168.2. I mean, so really, did it turn into like a fat camp for Jacobs? I think it did. But anyway, guys, let me hop off here. But what do you think? I mean, do you agree with me? I mean, are we kind of sleeping on Jacobs? And at a minimum, You know, do you give him a better shot at winning than you give Golovkin in a trilogy? I really want to know the answer. Please comment below. I really want to know, you know, what you think about that. Do you give him a better chance at beating Canelo than you give Golovkin in a trilogy? So yeah, let me know. Leave it below.